During my first 10 years as Pope, you have heard me every week with the same constant petition: pray for me. I have said this in audiences, the Angelus, and various speeches. You and your prayers, in the case of believers, and good vibes from those who do not believe, have accompanied me. They have been a permanent source of energy in my continuing forward with the papacy. For this reason, I would first like to thank you. Second, I would like to tell you that today I place myself in a little more beggarly fashion than usual. I want to share with you 10 requests I am making in the name of God to face the future with hope. I have the same relationship with God as any other person, a very human one. If you read the Bible, you will find characters who sometimes move away from God, hide from God, and fight with God, like when Abraham bargains with him over the righteous of Sodom. See Genesis chapter 18, verses 23 to 32. A relationship with God is good when it moves forward along the years, does not remain in its infancy, and is open. It is a bond that matures daily, open to misunderstanding, struggle, and communion that is born every new day. I strive for a relationship like this, even in the dark moments. I know that God is there, not only when I speak. Sometimes I am merely silent and let God talk so that He will make Himself known. It is a relationship of coexistence. Other times I do not understand God because He has a particular way of proceeding. But in any case, one thing I am clear on, and it is how God is with me and with all the world. There is a closeness, a way of compassion, and a tenderness. I hope that my relationship may follow this manner. Sometimes it is formal, such as when I celebrate the sacraments. However, when I enter the formality of the moment, I seek to not be over-elaborate, that it would be a formality that is in line with spontaneity. Generally, it is spontaneous and does not consist of talking, and talking. It also involves being in silence and contemplating. When I was young, it was beneficial for me to read about a saint who was said to spend all his time in the chapel. When asked what he was doing there and how he spoke to God, he responded, "I do not know. God looks at me, and I look at God." Sometimes our relationship with God is like this, wordless. This is an example of a saint. In my case, I do not get to this mystical state, nor even close to it. I must fight for closeness every day. What I feel for God is love. You cannot love God if you do not feel loved. In life, ingratitude often gets in the way. It is not feeling loved by someone who loves you. Feeling loved is principle in this case. Today, I present to you 10 issues that are part of our joint efforts for the sake of the entire human family, and to which I would like to offer some proposals. But first, I want to call you so we can all be part of a change process. As proposed by various analysts, today's world is undergoing a change of epoch rather than an era of change. This diagnosis was given even before the pandemic. We are still suffering from the effects of the pandemic and from the war in Ukraine, which has struck the heart of Europe and had disastrous ramifications across the globe. If there was doubt that humanity is undergoing a hinge moment, the last years have cleared these doubts. The Church is going through a similar moment because we can no longer think of an institution that is isolated from what is happening around it, whether it be positive or negative changes. As was taught so well to us by the Second Vatican Council Pastoral Constitution, Gaudium et Spes, if the world is shaken, the Church is shaken with it, because the world is the concrete reality in which the Church is rooted. For this reason, these petitions in the name of God are also directed to all God's people. This change of epoch that we are called to traverse has put in a place of prominence many concerns that, up until recently, did not have the visibility they deserved. I think of, for example, the rejection of all violence against women, or the fight against all forms of abuse inside and outside the Church. And whether or not we like the changes that the world has undergone in these last years, this is when we are called to move in, and we cannot stand by with our arms folded. Therefore, the first endeavor to advance these 10 petitions in the name of God is to accept this reality. The phrase of the Nobel winner in literature, Bertrand Russell, comes to mind. To understand the actual world as it is, not as we should wish it to be, is the beginning of wisdom.